Your life's digital, and so are we. The Digital Lifestyle.
If you visited Digg.com lately, you may have seen the story of Jesse McPherson. Jesse had his Xbox 360, flat-screen TV, and Powerbook stolen while he was out of town.
Like the cops had already been here when I got in. Like they had taken a window out and fingerprinted it and stuff like that. And they were supposed to come back the next day to interview because one of my roommates was actually here at the time and upstairs, and she was afraid to come out of her room. And they never came back, and so that's when I started getting the serial numbers ready, expecting them to come back. And I decided to call around to some local pawn shops. The very first one I called, the guy remembered someone coming in with a Powerbook, and he mentioned that the battery was dead and he didn't have the right charger for it, and the screen didn't hold up on its own, which her laptop, the tension on the screen went, which is why we replaced it.
Okay. So that was a pretty good giveaway that was yours.
Yeah, that definitely let it know that it was ours. So I started questioning him about cameras in the store and if there was any way I could get a copy of any pictures or anything like that. And he told me he'd bring up what he had. I went down there a little later and looked at what he had, like from behind the glass, and asked him if he could print something out for me or something. And he wasn't sure exactly how to do that. So I came home, grabbed the digital camera, and went back. And then he took pictures off the monitor for me.
While police were launching an investigation, McPherson posted his story to his blog, then submitted the story to Digg.
I mean, was it your intention once you posted this on the blog? Did you expect to have this this support and kind of like a bunch of Nancy Drews out there that were going to help with this?
Not really. Like a lot of the motivation behind the initial post was I had just put my blog up. I've had the domain for a year, and I've been meaning to put something up, and I hadn't done a real post yet. So I was a little frustrated with the police, and it was a good opportunity to do an initial post. So I put it all together, wrote everything up, gathered the pictures and everything.
Jesse's coworkers pitched in to buy him a new Xbox, and when he went to play, he was in for quite a surprise.
Came home, didn't hook it up right away. It was Friday night, so went out for a little bit, went out, had some dinner. Came home, was watching TV around 3 a.m. I was like, I think I'll play some games. Go to hook it up, recover my gamer tag, and then as soon as I'm online, I get the message. So it wasn't sitting there waiting for me. He waited and he saw me come online, and then he recorded this message and sent it to me. Booted up my Xbox, and he would have been logged into my profile automatically. So like one of the first things I did was go and change the password so he couldn't log into it anymore. But he was obviously using his own gamer tag.
Working from clues on the Xbox gamertag message, soon the Digg crowd was uncovering clues, including a phone number and address. It turns out the internet vigilantes didn't have quite the right information.
Yeah, they found out all sorts of information on him. They started instant messaging him and posting AIM chat logs and leaving comments on his YouTube page, and they found his MySpace profile and photo bucket. And I'm not really sure exactly how the connection happened to the address and the phone number, but the name. They got that somehow, which was actually wrong, but not that far off. And started calling this house, and we're calling it nonstop all day for a few days. And while they got the wrong name and address, the two families knew each other and were actually like cousins of each other. So this family getting called prompted them to, like, they saw the website and they saw that it was the picture of this other kid, but the name and address and phone number of their son. So they were able to contact the other family and let them know what was going on. And that kid was getting harassed on AIM and all the other fronts.
Do you think this is what people should do now when something gets stolen? Maybe post it on the blog, on their blog?
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean they were harassing the wrong guy, and I feel kind of bad about that. But I mean, it was very effective. So if they have any digital leads, yeah, maybe it's a good idea, but without that Xbox profile, they would have had nothing to go from.
And what's the status of the case right now?
Well, all the information's been handed off to the detective. The detectives were in awe, like they were like, I didn't even know you can do that stuff on an Xbox, and they read all the messages, listened to the voice messages, talked to the other families, and they seem to have solid leads on who the actual burglar or burglars were, which we believe is the kid that returned the laptop was a totally separate kid, and his picture is the one that was from the pawn shop. Mm-hmm. So they all must know each other, and he found out and then saw his picture on the internet and came to my door and was like, I saw my face on the internet, I just bought this from a crackhead, I don't want to get in trouble, I'm bringing it back, and left it on the doorstep and left.
So the TV, though, no leads on the TV?
I haven't heard anything on the TV. I figured most people don't get anything back, so I'm doing pretty good so far.
And Jesse has a message for all the people who helped him online.
It was really great to have all that support, and thank you, Digg and Anonymous, and yeah, thanks for having my back.
For the DigitalLifestyle.tv, I'm Ryan Ritchie.